Yeah, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be with you today in today's podcast. It is our weekly podcast, and I take my time to give a big shout out to everyone that are watching us and that are going to watch us also. It is a pleasure to have you with us this morning as we explore a topic that sits at the intersection of innovation, human potential, and one of the most fundamental aspects of our lives, which is our health. Today, we are discussing technology and medicine. How is technology transforming the way we prevent, diagnose, and treat diseases? And I can say for centuries, medicine has evolved through human observation and like scientific discovery and remarkable breakthrough. But today we are witnessing something extraordinary. Now, simply supporting medicine anymore, but it is reshaping what medicine can achieve. And from AI and predictive analytic to telemedicine, wearable devices, robotic surgery, and digital health records, and advanced diagnosed tools, technology, technology is changing how we understand diseases and how early we detect them and how effectively we respond to them. But beyond all these innovation, I can say there is a much deeper question. Like, are we simply making medicine more technological, or are we making healthcare more human? Because at the heart of every algorithm or every medical device and every technological breakthrough is a person. Someone seeking answers, someone hoping for treatment, someone trusting the healthcare system with their life. And that is what makes today's conversation so important. And we are going to look beyond the technology itself. We want to understand the opportunities, the challenges, and the human impact of this transformation also. Questions like, how can AI help doctors detect diseases earlier? Can technology make quality healthcare more accessible to communities that have traditionally been underserved? We're going to learn more about this question and take your seat, be comfortable. We're going to have a wonderful conversation. I'm not alone in that studio. I have four guests with me, two from Haiti and two from Kenya. Let me start with the Kenya team. Good morning, Mr. Inos Chidoku.
Good morning, Mr. Brigade. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, and good morning, Mrs. Sharon Capelli.
Good morning, Brigade. Thank you for having me today. My name is Sharon Cherono.
Yes, thank you to be there. And good morning, Jolene Dalsey from Haiti.
Good morning, Mr. Brega. I am Jolene Dalce, Associate at Project Unity, where I specializing in data analysis and community engagement. Today, it's a great pleasure for me to participate in this wonderful podcast. I am excited to be part of this conversation and to share ideas with our listeners. Thank you.
Yes, that's what it is. We're going to share ideas, knowledges with the listeners or to the listeners. And good morning, Waslin Janti. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here with you this morning. Is another exciting episode. My name is Waslin Jati, and I am an associate at Project Trinity, specializing in social media and cybersecurity. I'm excited to be part of today's conversation, share my perspective, and explore technology can help shape a better future. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you guys and welcome everyone. Let me take this time to welcome the Asian people in our mother's tongue, auditeurs ou bien auditrices, nou te ka di tou téléspectateurs ou bien téléspectatrices kap suiv nou la, kelke swa kotoye nou di ou bienveni. E jodi a nan podcast nou jodi a nou gon tre bel suje ke nan debat ki gen rapport avec la médecine de nos jours et puis technologie. Ki jan teknoloji avec la médecine kapab mette ansam pou bay santé nou plus valeur et rendre que nous joignent soins plus faciles. Avec un pile gadget électronique, il y a jodi à la qui est capable de lier on dit yon watch, un race watch, yon montre électronique qui est capable d'aider à connaître justement comment pulsation cœur y est-ce que on forme tout ça et d'autres gadgets qui permettent que on connaît taux sucre donc est-ce qu'on hypo ou bien hyperglycémie donc tout ça yo c'est un ensemble de avantages que nous jouons grâce avec technologie qui est justement nous connaître et développer plus ou bien rester plus près santé nous que plus loin. Donc, dans même optique ça tout, nous allons est-ce que ça a tout l'hypothèse plus stress la caille nous, là nous connaît comment santé nous y est, comment que soit on va qui pas marcher dans nous, est-ce qu'elle rend nous plus stressés ou bien tout, est-ce que ça li aide nous vivre plus bien toujours parce que nous connaît qui gens santé nous y est, qui ça nous doit faire et qui ça nous pas doit faire. Et donc dans 60 minutes que nous là, nous allons discuter ensemble avec guest nous yo qui partout ailleurs, Haïti et puis Kenya, donc ou même qui a suivre nous, partager live là et puis pour nous passer un très bon moment ensemble. As we said it before, this subject is technology and medicine. Like technology, we're gonna see how it helps us transforming the way we prevent, diagnose, and treat diseases. And I can say in this era, we find some people that are sick. Sometimes they have to go to the hospital to see what's wrong or we find some new technological things that help people, maybe some wearables, things that keep our lives updated about what is happening inside our body. And this is could be a great thing for us. But at least we're gonna ask or question or wonder, does this matter to know if I'm good or if I have something that is working perfectly in my body? Does this thing or those kinds of things bring anxiety or happiness when we know how is everything doing in our body? We're gonna dive into it, especially with Enos, to know if he had to describe the current moment in medical technology, maybe in one sentence, what would it be in us? And how telemedicine changing the way patients receive medicals, consultation, and follow up care, especially those that are living far from healthcare facilities? How can technology bring them more close to that? Inos, talk to the word.
Yes, thank you so much, Brigade. I think that's a good question. And as I said, my name is Enos Tudoko, an associate from Kenya. And if I had to answer your question in one line, health is used to depend on how far you lived from a hospital. Now it depends on how far you live from a signal, and that's genuinely the shifts I'm watching happen. Take an example in Kenya, there is M-Tiba, that's a mobile wallet built on M-Pesa rails. It lets people save small amounts and pay for a consultation straight from a phone, and that is no bank accounts needed. Uh, Pair that with a video or a voice consult, and someone in a place like, for example, Turkana does not need to make a 4-hour trip just to find out whether the trip was even necessary. They call first. That call decides whether they go at all. It is not just here. Another example is Rwanda. They did something similar with Babil. So basically, phone first primary care, and at one point, a huge share of the country was registered on it. Uh, and another example is India. It had a similar boom through its Isavani platform, which the government says has handles tens of millions of consultations, mostly for people who would otherwise have had to travel half a day to see a doctor. And also, there's a follow up care. This is the part people undersell. Historically, that's the visit that quietly gets skipped. You go once for diagnosis, and the second and third check-ins just don't happen because the journey is too much. A 15-minute call instead of another half a day trip is genuinely the difference between a treatment plan that gets finished and one that dies in week 3. And also, I want to pretend it's fixed everywhere. You still need a signal, you still need a phone and a health system willing to actually trust that the tool. But directionally, this is real, and it's already reshaping who gets seen and who does not. Yes.
Yeah, good, good. I appreciate it. And while talking about this, I'm still imagining, like, even in the remote areas, or I can say underserved areas, if that could be done, that would be a great thing. Like, someone may be sick, and they don't need to. This person doesn't need to walk for 15 or 30 minutes just to get to the hospital. Maybe if that person could find maybe a phone number just to call and give the information about what is happening through her body, and that could be previous things, and to help this person, okay, not just to walk away or to take away to come in, but this would help. Or if this hospital maybe has an online doctor that can help with diseases, or eventually some problems that may happen, that is a good thing also. And now we see technology in that case, and we'll go to Jolene to help us know how is technology shifting medicine from treating sickness to predicting and preventing it also. Jolene, talk to us to say how technology can shift that.
Thank you, Mr. Brega, for this question. Technology is helping medicine move from simply treating sickness to predicting and preventing. With tools like health apps, wearables, telemedicine, AI, and data analysis, healthcare professionals can detect risks earlier and make better decisions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jolene, because technology help us just to find a better decision at some point. Yeah, AI also can now detect certain maybe cancers or conditions faster than trained doctors in some studies. Does that does that excite you or worry you? I'm talking now to Sharon. Does that thing when AI can now detect certain cancers or condition, what does that bring to you? An excitement or a worries through you? Uh,
Thank you, Prigad, for that great question. Personally, I think it is both exciting and some we need to approach it carefully. AI is becoming an important tool in disease diagnosis because it can process and analyze very large amount of medical information very quickly. For example, AI can support healthcare professionals by analyzing medical images and identifying patterns that may be difficult for the human eye to notice. What excites me most is the possibility of eye detection. If technology can help identify a disease at an earlier stage, it may give healthcare professionals more time to respond and patients more opportunities for treatment. But I don't see AI as a replacement for doctors. I see it as a tool that can give doctors an additional layer of support. You can think of it as another set of eyes. AI can identify patterns and process large amount of information while the doctor brings medical knowledge, experience, judgment, and an understanding of the individual patients. At the same time, we have to think about the risks. AI is only as reliable as the data and training behind it. If the data used to train an AI system does not represent different populations, there is a risk that the technology may not work equally well for everyone. So, for me, the question is not whether we should use AI in medicine. The question is how do we use it responsibly? With proper training, professional oversight, good quality data, and strong ethical standards, AI could become a powerful partner for healthcare professionals and help make diagnosis faster and potentially more accessible. Thank you.
we thank you, Sharon, for saying this, for bringing all that information to the viewers, because AI can help improve the way doctors work each and every time daily, just to keep it more professional. And even if they might have their ideas or some critical things about it, but at least it helps and it gets improved the medicine. And now, Waslin Genti with us, we have personalized the medicine like robotic surgery, 3D printed organs. Like they might have one of these that feel closest to become normal in the next decade. Which one of them, Waslin?
Merci Brega pour question. For me, personalized medicine is probably the closest to becoming normal in the next decade. Every person is different, and the same treatment does not always work the same way for everyone. With AI, medical data, and genetic analysis, doctors will be able to find treatments that work better for each patient. Medicine should not always to be unsafe. Fivefold. Robotic surgery is also advanced quickly, but 3D printed organ may take a lot longer. Ça veut dire, docteur yo pa itilize même qualité traitement pour tout le monde. Mais Yo kapab analize kondisyon chak pasyon pou wè sa ki bon pou li. Paske, kon moun pa reagi mem jan ak medikaman ou swa tretman. Se sa ki fe mwen panse, personalize medicine gen an pil chans pou vin pi kome nan ane kap vini yo. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Waseline, for bringing that up. And as Sharon was saying this earlier, that AI can't replace doctors, or maybe in the few years that may come in the future, or maybe 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, in us will tell us exactly what's something specific that technology still can replace in medicine. No matter how advanced it gets, we know that it get advanced, and now they might have something that are not replaceable by the technology, even if the evolution, how things are getting updated, the telemedicine that we were talking, tell us exactly what can replace technology in medicine.
Yes, thank you so much. And I think there is a moment in every medical encounter that I don't think any amount of computing power ever touches. The moment a patient feels believed, not diagnosed correctly, but to be believed, those are not the same thing. A machine can hand someone a technically perfect answer and they can still walk out feeling completely unseen because a diagnosis is data and being believed is relationship. So it takes a human who looks at you, hears the shake in your voice, and catches the question you are too scared to actually ask out loud. A machine can read a scan faster than any radiologist who has ever lived. It cannot sit with a mother for 5 extra minutes because it senses she is not really asking about the prescription, but she's asking if her child is going to make it. Holding someone's fear alongside the fact is not a feature you can code. The best future here is not a technology replacing the human moment. It is technology clearing enough paperwork and busy work off a clinician desk that they actually have the 5 minutes to give. Now, privacy. Let's be honest. We are sprinting way ahead of our safeguards. Every technology we are excited about today, telemedicine records, AI diagnostic history, wearable data streams, leaves a permanent digital trail of a person's most private information. And in a lot of places we work, the legal muscle to protect that data uh, still being built while the technology is already live and running. That's a scary sentence, but it is true. So protection has to be fire on three levels at once, or it does not work at all. That is a technical encryption, tight access control, only collecting what you can actually need. So the system is not a honeypot waiting to be cracked open. And another one is institutional. Real rules about who who can see what with real consequences, not a policy PDF nobody reads. And another one is a patient facing. A plain language actually understand. Plain language actually people understand, not fine print buried on page while they are sitting nervous in a waiting room. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Trust is fragile, and it only takes one bad headline for communities to walk away from tools that genuinely helping them. So privacy is not a nice to have footnote; it is load bearing wall. Lose the trust, lose the adoption, and every clinical benefit we've talked about today evaporates because nobody left who is willing to use the thing. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Inos, for saying this about how it will be, and some like technology can replace medicine at some point. We know that and we acknowledge that. And now that's to tell in 15 years, some routines may change. Maybe a doctor's visit may have another piece. I can say I don't want to say that, but that can happen. Maybe in 15 years, that won't happen again to receive a doctor's visit. Okay, I say that maybe at 80%, but Jolene will tell us what can happen to that kind of thing in 15 years. What does a routine doctor's visit look like?
Thank you for this question. In the 15 years, a routine doctor's visit may be more digital, faster, and preventive. Wearable devices and health apps could provide doctors with real-time health data before the patient arrives. AI could help identify potential risks earlier. The doctor would the focus on interpreting the data, making decisions, and giving personalized advice. Telemedicine could also make healthcare more accessible, especially in underserved areas. In short, the future of a doctor's visit will be less about waiting for illness and more about predicting, preventing, and maintaining health. Pou mwen men, nan 15 an, mwen panse vizit dokter avin pi digital, pi personalize e plis konsantre sou prevensyon. Avan pasyon menm rive kay dokter, aparey intelijan ak aplikasyon yo ka deja bay kek informasyon sou sante moun nan. E ay kapab ede nou analize donè pou identifiye risk pi bonè. Pase surtout m ka pran ekzamp an Haiti, gen maladi ki tre frekant, donk nou ka pran ekzamp kanser, donk se yon maladi ki kouramman bay problem an Haiti. Donk a pati de aparey digital yo, nou kapab dekouvri maladi sa yo pi bonè e fe prevensyon pou yo. Merci.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Okay, discovering sickness is earlier and preventing it so early with wearables. Whew, that's the cool thing that we've maybe in way back when or in the past we may not have this possibility. Okay, especially in remote communities, we may like walk with I can say 15 kilometers or 30 kilometers just to find a hospital. Okay, to get care. The change is moving forward. There is change nowadays, and that's now we can say technology brings a powerful thing for us. Incorporating technology with medicine that gives another a life, or that maybe gets life easier to live, even if there is sickness, but we can handle this. Just going back to Enos, to know they might have some piece of technology that quietly change medicine. more than people realize. What are they in us?
Yes, thank you so much, Brigade. So, honestly, for me, I think the mobile money, and I'll take an example. In Kenya, M-Pesa did not start as a health tool at all. It, it, it was launched back in around 2007, basically as a way to send airtime and cash between phones. But once that rail existed, health products got built right on top of it. For instance, MTIBA is the clearest example. People can save towards doctor's visit in tiny amounts. It can be weekly and actually pay for care without ever opening a bank account. For me, that's a huge deal in a country where a large chunk of people are what they call unbanked. So, and it's not just a Kenyan story. So they are in South Africa. They built M Connect. That's an SMS system that sends pregnant women stage by stage health guidelines and appointment reminders. Millions of women have gone through it. That's a simple text message, and they measurably move the needle on whether someone shows up for a prenatal visit. And that's the pattern. None of the flashy stuff works without this boring layer underneath. So telemedicine needs a way to pay it. AI diagnostic needs the patient to actually show up for the scan. Wearables need somewhere for the data to land. Mobile money and SMS solves the unglamorous plumbing that everything else quietly depends on. So when I say it changed the medicine more than the people realize, nobody is writing headlines about it, but it built the on ramp everything else drives on. Yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, appreciate that. This is the right thing. Yeah, this is the right thing in Kenya. Maybe my mobile money is not about you. You just use a technology thing, or I can say a device just to send it. Okay, which is good. Um, Now, Jolene, wearables and health apps generate some, I can say, big data or huge amount of personal data. Is that data actually making people maybe healthier, okay, proud about how their body is moving, or is it make them more anxious because they feel like they're not good, and they receive maybe notification about how something goes wrong, and maybe about their blood pressure, their heart, and so on. How does that feel? Or tell us exactly what can brings healthier things through wearables and health apps, or is it makes them more anxious?
Thank you, Coach Vega. Wearables health apps can help people become more aware of their health by tracking things like heart rate, sleep, activity, and blood pressure. This can encourage healthier habits and early action. However, too much monitoring can also create anxiety. People might miss out normal changes in their data and think something is wrong. So, technology should be used as a health tool, not a source of fear. It should support people and healthcare professionals, not replace medical advice. Pour moi-même, appareil elektronik ak aplikasyon sante yo kapab ede moun pi bien suiv sante yo, tankou batman kè, dormi ak aktivite fizik. Men gen kek risk tou, tankou interpretasyon donè, erè teknik, problem konfidansyalite, ak trop dependans sou teknoloji. Se pou tèt sa, formasyon, regleman, test ak supervision profesyonel sou teknoloji, se pou formasyon jen yo fet. Teknoloji a dwe amelyore soin, li pa dwe kreye nouvo risk pou pasyen yo. Sa ka ede yo pran pi bon abitid, epi detekte pi bonè kek chanjman ki kapab fet nan kor yumen yan. Men si yon moun ap verifiye donè yo trop, ou swa li pa kompran donè yo, sa kapab kreye inkyetid kay pasyen anko. Se pou tèt sa, teknoloji a dwe servi kom yon zouti pou ede moun, li pa dwe remplase konsey ak vizit pasyen l'hôpital. Merci.
Absolutely, Jolene. Well said, and I appreciate your viewpoint about technology. And now, Sharon will go to you to know what exactly happens to the doctor-patient relationship when a machine makes the diagnosis first. What happens when that appears?
I think this is where we have to remember that healthcare is not only about diagnosis, it is also about human connection. Imagine that you are a patient and you receive a serious diagnosis. You don't only want a machine to tell you what is wrong. You want someone who can explain what is happening, answer your questions, understand your concerns, and guide you through the next steps. That's why I believe doctors will remain very important even as technology becomes more advanced. AI might analyze information and identify possible conditions, but the healthcare professionals still need to look at the bigger picture. They need to consider the patient's medical history, symptoms, lifestyle, environment, and other factors that technology may not fully understand. Also, another point is there is also the issue of trust. Patients should know when technology is being used in their healthcare and understand that a human professional is still responsible for interpreting the information and making appropriate directions. So I don't think the technology should create distance between doctors and patients. Instead, it should give doctors more time and better information to focus on what matters most. The ideal future is one where machines help with data analysis, while healthcare professionals continue to provide the human connection, explanation, and accountability. So, my advice is technology should strengthen the relationship between doctors and patients, not replace it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. Sharon, no. Waslin will talk a bit about maybe the treatment, about how do we make sure cutting edge now treatments don't stay locked away for only the wealthy or well insured. Waslin.
Merci pour question. I believe innovation should not be a privilege for the wealthy. It should be accessible to everyone. We need better healthcare systems, professional training, technology, and programs that make advanced treatments more affordable. Having advanced technology is not If people cannot access it, technology should help reduce healthcare inequity, not create a bigger gap between people. Pour moi, vrai progrès, c'est pas seulement les nous créer une nouvelle technologie, mais c'est les gens qui besoin li capable bénéficier de lui. Si yon traitement existe, mais c'est seulement moun qui gen un pile l'argent qui capable joindre li, un pile moun a toujours été derrière. C'est peut-être ça, gouvernement, l'hôpital ak organisation yo besoin travailler ensemble pour rendre nouveau traitement yo plus accessible. Merci pour question.
Absolutely right. And I'm totally agree. I'm in agreement with you with that point. And now I can say there might have something uh, like accountable thing I'm going to Enos now to know who should be accountable when AI diagnostic tool gets wrong or get it wrong. Maybe the doctor, the developer, or the hospital in us.
Yes, yes. So I think none of them should be accountable. And I think hunting for one guilty party is why this question feels stuck. So it has to be layered the same way it is layered in aviation industry. So there is the manufacturer, there is the airline, and there is a pilot, and there is and the pilot each carry a distinct piece. The developer owns how the tool was built, what the data trained it, and where it was tested on people who actually looks like patients using it. Uh, for example, that IBM Watson for oncology situation, uh, there's an example of IBM Watson oncology. So this IBM, they trained data, and it had been trained heavily on cases from one hospital, and it did not generalize as well elsewhere, and that wasn't made clear enough upfront. So that is a developer accountability failure. The hospital owns deployment. So proper protocols, trained staff, real human checkpoints before the output becomes decision. A brilliant tool rolled out carelessly becomes dangerous one, and that's on on the institution that chose to roll it out that way. And the doctor owns the final call. The FDA actually built a real framework for this when it approved the IDX doctor back in 2018, and the first AI tool cleared to make autonomous diagnostic call for a diabetic eye disease, and even there, the pathway to human specialist stayed built on the process for anything borderline. That tells something. Even regulators pushing the technology forward did not remove the human from loop entirely. And what I want to accept is blame just evaporating. The developer says we only built, and the hospital says we only bought it, and the doctor says the machine told me. So real accountability means each of those three can point to a specific job they held, and none of them gets to hide behind the other two. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for helping us know that. One more thing is about how, especially, um, doctors can get their maybe their hospital up to date by the way we are empowering technology, especially at Project Trinity. And we have associates that can help that, and because they've received some training to help your maybe your hospital get improved by technology, and that's how we can help. And now Jolene will say to us maybe if she could fix one barrier standing between today's medical technology and everyday patients, like what exactly would it be, Jolene?
Thank you, Mr. Briga. If I could remove one major barrier between today's medical technology and everyday patients, I would choose accessibility. Medical technology is advancing rapidly, but not everyone can benefit from it. Cost, limited internet access, lack of digital literacy, and limited healthcare infrastructure can prevent many people, es- especially those in undeserved communities, from accessing those innovations. We need to medical technology more affordable, accessible, and easy to use. Technology should not only be available to those who can afford it, it should reach the people who need it most. Pou mwen men, pami pi gro defi ki genyen se infrastrikti limite, akse ak internet ak elektrisite, pri teknoloji yo, pa abordab, formasyon profesyonel ak bezwen pou regleman yo pa konform. Yon lot defi se adapte solisyon yo ak bezwen reyel kominote yo. Nou bezwen kompren tou, teknoloji a pa selman kom yon prodwi, men kom yon sistem ki bezwen moun ki forme ak infrastrikti pou fonksyone. An Haiti sitou, nou bezwen fè teknoloji medikal yo pi aksesib, pi abordab, pi adapte ak realite kominote, sitou moun ki nan kominote elwanye yo. Kon sa, teknoloji a kapab ede moun yo jwen soin pi fasil, fè prevensyon avèk detekte maladi pi bonè. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jolene. And there might like I can say a moment we can share a moment where technology caught something maybe human might have missed, or it might be vice versa. Sharon will help us to know that maybe a moment technology caught something that is a human might have missed. What is it exactly, Sharon?
Thank you, Brigad. One important thing we should understand that humans and technology have different strengths. Technology can process a large amount of information and identify patterns very quickly. A healthcare professional, on the other hand, brings experience, judgment, context, and an understanding of the patient as a whole person. For example, an AI system analyzing a medical image may identify as a small abnormal pattern and alert a doctor to take a closer look. But the opposite can also happen. A machine may identify something as unusual, while an experienced doctor understands from the patient's history and other information that it may not actually be a serious condition. That's why I think the future should not be about asking who is better, the human or the machine. Instead, we should ask how can we combine their strengths. Technology can help us process information, recognize patterns, and work faster. Humans provide judgment, empathy, communication, and accountability. When these trends come together, we have the potential to make healthcare better. And it can be particularly important in underserved communities where access to specialists may be limited. Technology could help healthcare workers access information and decision support tools that can assist them in providing better care. But this must be done responsibly with proper training, professional oversight, and protection of patient information. Thank you.
Good, Sharon. Now there might have gap between technology, what technology can do, and especially what healthcare system actually use. And in us, you might say, where do you see the gap between technology, what can technology can do, and the healthcare system actually use? Where is the gap is?
Yes, thank you once again, Briga. And honestly, the gap is not in the labs. I think it is in the space right after the ribbon cutting ceremony. I'll take an example of Rwanda. It is it is an example of doing it right. For instance, zipline drones have been flying blood and medical supplies to rural clinics there since around 2016. And it actually stuck because the government built the regulation and the logistics around it from day one, not as not an not as an afterthought. But I've also seen the other version. There there are widely cited estimates from health equipment groups that something like a third to half of donated medical equipment in lower income countries end up and used within a few years. Not because the machine was bad, but because nobody trained the two staff who knew how to run it before they left for a better paying jobs, or because it needed a level of power or internet the clinic never actually had day to day, or nobody budgeted for that the part that breaks. I've watched a version of this myself. A good a good equipment donated with a lot of fanfare, and 18 months later it is sitting in the back room because the one person who understood it moved to a city for a better job. And also there is a policy layer too. Uh, Technology moves faster. Regulation uh, Regulation for a good reason moves slow. So the patient safety on the line. So you end up with a genuinely useful tool and literally no legal pathway for rural clinic to adopt it. No clarity on who is liable if it's wrong. No plan for who pays to keep it running or after the grant ends. So the real gap is the training, the maintenance, the trust, and the policy scaffolding standing between the lab and the clinic door. That's the unglamorous work, and it's the work that actually decides whether any of this reaches the people who need it.
Yeah, yeah, thank you, Ines, for saying this. And now we're going to Haiti now to know in the Asian context. Now, how can technology get helping improve access to healthcare, especially in underserved areas? Jolene will make us clear about this, especially in Haiti.
Thank you, Mr. Brega. In Haiti, technology can improve access to healthcare, especially in underserved areas. Telemedicine can connect patients with doctors remotely while mobile. Technology can support community health workers and provide health education. Technology not replace doctors or nurses. It will give them better tools to reach more people, detect problems earlier, and improve prevention. For example, a smartwatch can monitor a person's heart rate and alert them when it detects unusual pattern. This information can encourage the person to seek professional medical advice earlier. Pou mwen men, teknoloji a li ede la medsin soti nan trete maladi pou rive nan prevensyon ak deteksyon pi bonè. An Haiti, telemedicine ak zouti digital yo kapab ede moun ki nan zon ki pa gen akse ak soin sante profesyonel yo jwen ni pi fasil. Men teknoloji a pa dwe toujou remplase ni konsey dokter ni konsey infirmier yo. Teknoloji a dwe rete nan limit pal e vizit dokter yo ak konsey dwe toujou la e important pou pasyen yo. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jolene, for saying how in the Asian context the technology and can help, especially in the underserved areas. Waslin will tell us what's the line between enhancing human health or engineering it. What is it exactly?
Merci pour question. For me,
Tomiko perfectly.
daylight becomes important when we move from treating people to designing people. There is a difference between using technology to treat disease or restore a lost function and using it to choose the characteristics we want a person to have. Innovation should always come with ethic, safety, consent, and responsibility. Just because we can do something does that mean we should do it. Par exemple, servi ak teknoloji pou ede yon moun ki malade ou swa pou retabli yon kapasite li te pedi, se yon bagay ki ka amelyore sante li. Me, le nou komanse itilize teknoloji pou chwazi ki jan yon moun dwe fet ou swa ki karakteristik li dwe genye, sa a souleve an pil kesyon etik. Se pou tèt sa, mwen kwe inovasyon dwe toujou mache avek etik, sekirite, konsantman ak responsabilite. Mersi pou kesyon, Biga.
Yeah, thank you, guys. We're out of time now, just to really say goodbye because time flies, and we really appreciate the conversation and how it flows, and the comment sections also. It is on fire, okay, and big shout out to those that keep commenting, and now I don't know if you don't really have something to say before we wrap it up, but if you have something to say before we go, you can say it. Yes.
Yes, let me go first. And if there is one thing I hope people take from this, it is the technology only. It is that technology only matters as much as our willingness to actually get it into hands of the people who need it most. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricard. The advice I would like to leave with our listeners is that today is that technology has incredible potential to transform medicine, but people must remain at the center of the transformation. And as Project Trinity continues to explore how technology can solve real world challenges, I believe this is an important conversation for all of us to keep having. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And now I don't know if team will say something before we go. Uh, Waseline or Jolene.
Merci avec chaque grand monde qui était là ensemble avec nous matin dans un bel sujet ça. Yon l'autre occasion c'est pour mercredi si Dieu veut.
Yes, thank you, everyone. And you heard it. And I can say another rendezvous is for next week for an amazing podcast. And have a great day, everyone, and enjoy this podcast. Bye.